It's time to go back to Althea College, so get ready for Season 2 of Fate the Winx Saga, which is now streamed on Netflix. After a while, Abigail Cowen comes back as the Fire Fairy Bloom in the team adaptation of the beloved children's cartoon Winx Club, while Bloom's abilities reached impressive new peaks last season, after a confrontation with the dreadful Burnt Ones. Recap.
All my people in one place. So I can't believe how lucky I am.
The circumstances rapidly turned bitter when Bloom's model, Dowling's lover, was killed by Rosalind, her longtime opponent. Rosalind then begins to hide her crimes and takes charge of Althea College. Before I start, smash that like button if you haven't done so already, and be prepared for big spoilers if you haven't yet seen Season 2. In the fictional place of the Fate the Winx Saga on Netflix, a girl called Bloom goes to Althea's fairy school. She doesn't understand who she is or that the coveted dragon flame inside her is making her more exposed to dangers that she hasn't encountered before. Trust is one of the central themes of the show, and Bloom is regularly confronted with it since she hasn't got a clue whom to trust, as everybody invents stories about what has occurred so they can control her because of her dark history. She eventually decides to get involved in this complex situation, but this makes her future more complicated after the events of Season 1, when a new autocracy has come to power and Rosalind has all the cards in hand. With the new autocracy in place, Rosalind has all the power, mostly because she is more experienced than others. Bloom and her Winx Club intend to free Silva, who is about to be taken to the heavy winter wasteland, from which no one comes back from, in an attempt to get things as they were. Around Althea are unusual monsters known as scrapers, who start to come out and attack the fairies. Rosalind creates a connection between these invasions and the Blood Witches, who seem determined to open a portal that might end the world as everyone knows it. Bloom has trouble with finding the dragon's flame and what is important to her, while the rest of the Blood Witches are set to find the dragon's flame too. She is determined to try and find out Rosalind's secrets and the stuff she keeps to herself, so more and more information about her past is disclosed by unpredicted sources, and eventually she decides to find out the truth about herself. Lots of things inspire Bloom, but the most important are her roots and real identity. And from the start, she has struggled to discover the identity of her parents, while everybody who made a promise that they would let her know about them either died before they were able to, or didn't tell her the truth, and it eventually led to nowhere. Sebastian, in the end, lets her know that her way of trying to find her parents is wrong. Bloom, in the end, becomes aware that she has the dragon flame that has been asleep for 1,000 years. Release date.
Because that's not ominous at all.
As Season 2 has just been released, there is no information on the third season. The series is becoming a fan-favorite guilty pleasure in lots of countries and is placed as a best-rated show. Netflix is a popular platform for renewing fantasy dramas, but it is also known for canceling shows that have a problem keeping up, so it is early to discuss the future of the series. In an interview, Brian Young talked about the aim of Fate the Winx Saga Season 3. He teased that it will center on the realm of darkness, but it will also have a connection with the general mythology. It is most likely that there won't be a third season, keeping in mind the introduction of Bloom into the Shadow World and the additional new characters. Fate the Winx Saga Season 3 will most likely center on Musa's new specialist world, and Riven could also appear. Flora's scars may incite something bigger, and Aisha and Gray may be involved in a love affair. Stella might try to be able to locate Beatrix's sisters, and eventually welcome the introduction of the Tricks in the series. Cast!
Eventually the answers will come.
If there is a Season 3 of Fate the Winx Saga, you will likely see all of your favorite Althea fairies once again, as played by Abigail Cowen as Bloom, Precious Mustapha playing Aisha, Eliot Salt in the role of Terra, as well as Paulina Chavez portraying Flora and Elisha Applebaum as Musa. There will probably be a comeback for specialist leader Saul Silva, played by Robert James-Collier, together with the main members Skye, Danny Griffin, Riven, Freddie Thorp, Dane, Theo Graham, and the latest addition, Gray, portrayed by Brandon Grace. Gray was discovered to be an unrevealed blood witch at the finale of Season 2, but the compassion he shows for his involvement in Sebastian's plan, joined with his growing feelings for Ischia, indicates that a return could happen. Though the same cannot be said for Miranda Richardson as Rosalind, Ken Dukin as Andreas, or Sadie Soverall as Beatrix, considering no one made it out of the second season alive. With that being said, there was a tease about Beatrix having two sisters, a nod to the original Winx Club cartoon. So don't be surprised to see them featured if the series comes back for another season. Another leading role that will have to be cast is that of Bloom's mom, who was shortly noticed in the last scene of Season 2, but her face is never shown. Could a big guest star portray her? Abigail Cowen humorously named Nicole Kidman as her perfect choice for the role. Story.
You still don't know where you came from.
Bloom has two visions in the closing episode, both of which indicate progress in the new season, as she and her team discuss how to battle Sebastian, unlocking the portal to the Dark Realm and an unknown building. As they enter the Dark Realm in the last scene, they come full circle, since Sebastian manages to open the door before Bloom chooses to give him the dragon's flame, according to Bloom's first vision. So Bloom probably had a vision at the same time as Sebastian opened the door. Sebastian is away from the second vision because he is already dead, but the building and the shadow are still there when she discovers the building of her dreams and goes into it through the same door she had seen before. While in the meantime, part of the vision occurs. She arrives and finds a woman waiting for her instead of the shadow. Bloom believes it is her mother, but it would not be clever to make such a quick decision. When Stella goes to see Beatrix's grave in the parallel world, she leaves a flower there in her honor. As she leaves, the shadows come out from behind her, and we can see the shadow looking at Beatrix. Even if it seems like an infinite amount of time, Sebastian has been able to open the door without utilizing the dragon flame, while the shadow has managed to escape and is now free to walk the other world. Even though Bloom saw the shadow in her vision, it doesn't have to mean that she foresaw the future. Given her last vision, maybe she traveled into the past and observed another person's confrontation with the shadow, who has since left the dark world. When the shadow was in the building in her vision, it appeared more abandoned and devastated. Although, when she gets into the building, it feels more crowded, and it is as if somebody has been living there for quite some time. Also, there is more light, which exudes the association with a shadow force. As the shadow, looks can be deceiving, and maybe this is the shadow's approach to meet Bloom without frightening her. Or maybe it aims to gain her trust before trying to take control of the dragon's flame. Or maybe it's a shadow that is already there in the parallel world, and the woman could be Bloom's mother. This would be great news for Bloom, who will finally be able to meet one of her parents, and possibly smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. See you in the next video!